Hello, English speakers. Welcome to SNS. I am Martin, your English practicing partner. This is episode 5 of our English Fluency Practice series. I know that you can understand English, but whenever you try to speak, the words seem to disappear from your mind, and you don't know what to say. Don't worry, that's completely normal. In today's session, we're going to shadow an interesting story titled the From a Rusty Cart to a Golden Carriage. It's a beginner-friendly session designed to help you improve your speaking confidence and fluency. If you found this video helpful or can relate to it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, and give the video a thumbs up. It will help other learners discover this video too. If you want to watch more videos from this series, check out the description. So be ready. Keep your tea beside you, and let's begin. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by rolling green hills, there lived a poor cart maker named Elias. His small workshop stood at the edge of the main road, where he spent long hours repairing broken wheels and building carts from old, worn-out wood. His hands were rough, his clothes were torn in places, and yet his heart was full of dreams. Elias had only one treasure, a rusty old cart that he had built years ago when his father was alive. The cart was shaky, its paint was peeling, and the wheels squeaked with every turn. But it was all he had. Every morning he would load it with tools and wander from house to house, offering his service to travelers and merchants. People liked him because he was honest, even though he charged little. One evening, as the sun melted into gold behind the mountains, Elias sat beside his cart, wiping sweat from his forehead. Maybe one day, he whispered to himself, "I'll have a cart strong enough to carry the weight of my dreams." That night, while the stars sparkled above the silent fields, an old woman appeared near his door. She was dressed in a gray cloak, her hair silver as the moonlight. "Good evening, young man," she said softly. "My wheel broke near the riverbank. Can you help me?" Elias didn't hesitate. "Of course, ma'am," he replied, grabbing his tools. It was late, and the road was dark, but he followed her without fear. When he reached the river, he saw an old wooden carriage stuck in the mud. He worked for hours under the cold sky, repairing the broken wheel while the old woman watched quietly. When he finished, she smiled. "You have kind hands, Elias," she said, "and a kind heart. I have nothing to pay you with, but I can give you something far more precious. A promise." Elias laughed softly. "A promise, ma'am?" She nodded. "Yes, your kindness will one day turn your rusty cart into a golden carriage. But remember, it will only happen when your heart stays pure and your hands never stop helping others." Before Elias could speak, the woman vanished like mist in the moonlight. He rubbed his eyes, thinking he might have dreamed it, then shrugged and went home. The next morning, he found a small golden feather lying on the cart seat. "Strange," he muttered. "Perhaps it's a sign." He tucked it safely in his pocket and went to work. Days passed, then months. Elias continued helping everyone he could: the farmer with a broken plow, the merchant whose oxen got loose, the widow who needed wood for her fire. He never asked for much in return, only enough to buy bread and keep his tools sharp. People began to speak of him fondly. Elias, the man with the golden heart. One day, a young nobleman from the city visited the village. His grand carriage had broken down, and no one could fix it. "I need the best craftsman here," he shouted. The villagers pointed to Elias. The nobleman looked doubtful when he saw the poor cart maker. "You, with that old rusty cart? Can you fix a royal carriage?" Elias smiled humbly. I'll try my best, sir. He worked under the hot sun all day, his hands black with grease, his shirt soaked in sweat. As the nobleman watched, something in Elias's quiet patience caught his attention. When the work was done, the wheels turned smoothly as silk. The nobleman was impressed. Name your price, he said proudly. Elias bowed. I only wish to buy better tools, sir, nothing more. The nobleman was moved by his humility. He not only paid him generously, but also invited him to the city workshop, where many rich craftsmen worked. Elias hesitated. He loved his small village, but he remembered the old woman's words. Maybe this is the road she spoke of, he thought. So he packed his rusty cart and began the long journey to the city. The road was full of dust, but Elias's heart was full of hope. Along the way, he met travelers, a beggar with a broken cane, a young girl with a torn shoe, and an old man who had lost his horse. Every time, Elias stopped to help. When he finally reached the city gates, the guards laughed at his shabby cart. This is no place for junk, one said mockingly. Elias smiled and moved aside, parking near the old market. For weeks, he worked hard, repairing carts and carriages for those who couldn't afford the royal workshops. Then, one evening, a strange glow appeared around his cart. Startled, he stepped back. The rusty wood began to shine faintly, like sunlight through morning fog. Oh no, what's happening? Elias gasped. Before his eyes, the wood turned smooth and golden. The wheels gleamed like polished brass, and the squeaks faded into silence. People gathered around, their eyes wide. It's a miracle, someone cried. His part turned to gold. Elias stood frozen, remembering the old woman's words. When your heart stays pure. Tears filled his eyes. He realized that the magic wasn't in gold. It was in the goodness he had shared all along. From that day forward, Elias's golden carriage became famous across the land. But he never used it for pride. Instead, he traveled to poor villages, carrying food, tools, and hope. He repaired broken wagons for free, helped travelers in storms, and shared his stories with children who had stopped believing in dreams. One night, as he rested by a campfire, a familiar soft voice reached his ears. You kept your promise, Elias. He turned. The old woman stood there again. She smiled gently, and that was enough. Remember, my dear boy, gold fades, but kindness never rusts. As she vanished once more, Elias looked at his golden carriage glowing under the stars. He whispered, May it never lose its shine, not because of gold, but because of love. Years later, when Elias grew old, people still told stories about the man who turned a rusty cart into a golden carriage, not through magic, but through the magic of his heart. True success doesn't come from wealth or fame. It comes from kindness, humility, and helping others even when no one is watching. When your heart is pure, even the simplest things you touch can turn golden. Now it's time to explain the meanings of the most difficult words from the story, along with their contextual usage and one simple alternative that you can use in your daily conversations. Word number 1, hesitated, meaning paused before doing something because of fear or uncertainty. Example, Elias hesitated before leaving his small village for the big city. Alternative, paused, delayed. Word number 2, vanished, meaning disappeared suddenly and completely. Example, the old woman vanished into the mist after giving her promise. Alternative, disappeared or faded away. Word number 3, generously, meaning in a kind and giving way, often giving more than expected. Example, the nobleman paid Elias generously for his hard work. Alternative, kindly, open-handedly. Word number 4, trembled, meaning shook slightly from fear, cold, or emotion. Example, Elias trembled when he saw his rusty cart glowing like gold. Alternative, shook, quivered. Word number 5, shabby, meaning worn out or in bad condition due to age or neglect. Example, the guards laughed at his shabby cart when he reached the city. Alternative, old, worn out. Word number 6, mockingly, meaning in a way that makes fun of someone, not respectful. Example, this is no place for junk, one guard said mockingly. Alternative, teasingly, scornfully. Word number 7, glimmered, meaning shine softly with a faint light. Example, the golden carriage glimmered under the stars that night. Alternative, shined, sparkled. Word number 8, humility, meaning the quality of being humble, not proud or boastful. Example, Elias's humility made everyone respect him even more. Alternative, modesty, simplicity. Word number 9, faintly, meaning weakly or slightly visible, heard, or felt. Example, the wood of the cart began to glow faintly before turning golden. Alternative, lightly, softly. Word number 10, compassion, meaning deep care and concern for others' suffering. Example, Elias showed compassion to everyone, rich or poor. Alternative, kindness, sympathy. That's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed the story and learned some new words and expressions. Keep practicing every day, and you'll see great improvement in your English. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you don't miss any future lessons. Thank you so much for watching. Stay motivated, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and take care.